Melancholia, bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Good to see you all. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Reclamation, we have our red team. We have our duo of uThermal and Goblin. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have their opponent. We have the blue team. We have Shameless and GgMaChine. Here we go. We have our opposing duo, and on the one hand, I do rate GgMaChine and Shameless quite highly when it comes to their 1v1, but how do they compare in 2v2? I don't think I've actually casted them before. When it comes to their 2v2 duo, I know they do play a lot together, especially when it comes to the Brood War 2v2 tournaments. I say Brood War, the StarCraft Evolution 2v2 tournaments that the CIS region does hold. But we'll see how they're able to work together. And this Goblin and uThermal, speaking of working together, they do formulate their wall. Able to wall up, to make sure they're safe against Ling run-bys. And we have seen uThermal mix things up with mech, with battle mech, with bio. We'll see how they approach this. So far, oh, 2x Reaper, okay. Second Rex is on the way, so 2x Reaper from the side of uThermal. Meanwhile, 2 gate opener out of Goblin. Okay, so hyper aggression out of our red team. Meanwhile, hatch gas pool out of GgMaChine. And a gate cyber expand out of Shameless. So standard openers here out of blue team, aggressive openers out of red team. It looks like we do confirm this though. It looks like the scout did pop off. The probe scout, I should say, does confirm the 2 ranks, does confirm the 2 gateways. So blue team, they know what's going on. They are aware. Reapers are moving out. Just because they know doesn't mean they can stop it. We'll see if they can minimize losses. For now, the initial Stalker is being chronoed. Queens are a must. Reaper dips in. Drone's under fire. So far, morphing in a spore. Oh, morphing in the gas. No kills yet. GgMaChine does save his units, still save his drones. Queen has arrived, and so far so good. So far so good, but here comes the rest of the army again, and more deaths, more Reapers. Link speed is halfway done. Shield battery on the way for Shameless. I feel like Shameless, he should be secure with this, against this. I'm mainly concerned about GgMaChine. I feel like the Zerg player can be bullied in this kind of situation. But the Reapers actually go for the Protoss. Do try to rush in, does fully wall off, locks down the so the Reapers are getting to the main. 1, 2 probes going down. 2, 3, 4 probes. Very nice damage. They are going to be cleaned up though. They will be cleaned up. Depths ahead towards the natural. And in total, how many probe kills? 7. Oof. 7 workers go down. Brutal losses there, brutal damage. Yeah, Shameless has a rocky start to this game, as even the Adepts get away. Now behind this, both players are working towards a Twilight Council. Twilight Council on the way for Goblin as well as Shameless. Into most likely Blink. Meanwhile, Goblin not on with the aggression, going for its own Stargate into Oracle opener. Oracle's on the way. Link speed is now done for GgMaChine. It can start to be active. Going for early Evo Chamber into what should be +1 melee. What should be. Technically, this could be Carapace. We can go into Roaches and go into, like, Ravager Ling. Leaning towards melee. Yeah, there it is. Melee is on the way. GgMaChine, he is going for the Roach Warren. So Ling Roach out of our Zerg player. Meanwhile, Blink Stalkers from both Protoss. And we do see that uThermal is not going into mech, he's going to bio. Let's go. Third CC is done. I mean, yeah, obviously with a 2x Reaper opener going into a 2-1-1 follow-up into Stim. So both players on Team Red are headed towards that mid game. They're both taking their third bases. GgMaChine doing the same, also going for his own third. Oh, setting up a proxy. Every time we're getting juiced up. Let's go, the juice box. Beautiful. Shameless, he likes his juice. He likes it. Getting hydrated. With that Baneless on the way, so it's going to be a Ling, Bane, or a Travager. At least it seems to be the case here from GgMaChine. Soka's moving out with the proxy pylon. Of course, he can reinforce. How many gateways here for Shameless? Soon to be up to 4. So 4 gates on the way. Goblin does respond. Ooh, catching out the Stalker. Shameless is on his own. He's on his own. Where's GgMaChine? What's happening? Ah, there's the recall. And a lot of Stalkers go down. A rough start here for Shameless. Leading out its army. GgMaChine just wasn't able to be there to support. Now getting into his own roaches. But blue team are in trouble. At this point, they're in a lot of trouble here. Lings, they do try to force back the army. They force back the Stalkers at least. And they force back uThermal. Oh. Bit of an overreaction. Great job by GgMaChine, just forcing the opponents back, forcing everyone back home. Buying time. Just buying time, getting into more upgrades. Getting into a more robust army. Setting up. So far, Goblin keeping up with the Lings. And the Roach Ravager is slowly building up. Passing off the Roach Ravager. So once again pushing towards Shameless. GgMaChine, he does keep up with Goblin. At the same time, Ling run by, but Stasis goes up. Goblin defends. These are rough trades here for Shameless. Trying to fight this head-on with just pure Blink Stalker. Again, baits out the Stasis Trap. Not bad. Base out, base out the Stasis. Meanwhile, the KDA charge does pop up. Catching out another Stalker. Very quickly, Shameless, he's falling behind compared to everyone else. Shameless with a worse economy, now a smaller army, bleeding out a lot of Stalkers over time. Meanwhile, GgMaChine trying to catch out Goblin. I love that we have our 2 1v1s happening at the same time. But Duo's facing off. Oh, catches 2 medevacs, not bad. 2 medevacs go down for the price of a Stalker. Oh, Shameless is playing with fire. Oh, another Stim. Yeah, brutal Stim here. Shameless beating out what, another 5 Stalkers. Shameless, you just cannot keep up with these trays, with these losses. Likewise, Goblin overwhelming the Ravagers as well. And you can see both uThermal and Goblin winning on both fronts. They win their fights. They keep on pushing. GgMaChine trying to switch into Hydra into Lurker tech. Bold move. Switching to Lunkers. He needs a little bit more time. So stepping in. At the same time, we do see uThermal breaking Shameless. Getting within range of the bases and knocking them down. As Nexus are falling. Bases losing pylons, losing his army. Again, Shameless just cannot keep up. Not against this. Not on his own. And the whole thing here is that, again, the lurkers are denied. And GgMaChine is busy. He's kept busy here with Goblin. uThermal popping off, taking out 2 bases. And Shameless, there's nothing here. There's nothing left. He's got a handful of Stalkers, handful of Zealots. uThermal going for the kill. Catching out some Stalkers. Let's catch up. We do have some Zealot runbys and some Link counterattacks every now in some of these bases. Bane's rolling in. That splits there from uThermal. Does split, making his way to the main. At the same time, Goblin also pushing in. Lurkers have arrived. GgMaChine barely holding on. Zealot runby does take down a Mineral Line. And not bad, 12 SCVs. 12 SCVs going down. As the prism is across the map. Jeez, but Goblin, he's still not done. I should say, uThermal's still not done. He sims in once again. Shameless just cannot deal with this army. The Lunkers, they hold the line. Oh god, but Storm is ready. And bases are still falling. GgMaChine, he lost his 5th. Yeah, the army's over sim, but sims in once again, going for the Mineral Line. Takes down the Stalker army, Queens, drones as well. And now this one, it's a 1v2. It's just GgMaChine on his own. We can take Protoss and a Terran. We have Sky Toss on the way from Goblin. Again, they're just pulling at GgMaChine apart. He just cannot keep up, not against both armies. There's the scan. GG gets called. Shameless taps out. Shameless, I mean, he's been out of this for a while. GgMaChine, he wants to make a stand. He refuses to give up. Let me at him, baby. Let me at him. Yeah, no. As someone does him in. Going for another base. I mean, hey, he's holding on. This is true. Takes down the Marines, takes down some of the tanks. He's holding his own for a time until Storm arrives. Yeah, GG gets called. And with that, uThermal and Goblin, they take game number 1. Whew, GG. As you take a lead here, again from very early on, Shameless, he was kind of being bullied. We were referring to the Reaper harass early on, the drop play as well from uThermal. Goblin had a hard time. Oh, sorry, I should say that Shameless had a hard time actually getting into the mid game. He was able to get to a decent base count, but because of all the losses, like, he just couldn't really transition into anything too useful to support. Whether it would be Colossus, his own Storm, his own Immortal production, was just stuck on purely Stalker charge lots, and again, he just could not quite keep up, and with that, it did just turn into a 2v1. 2v1. GgMaChine, he was holding his own against Goblin. Shameless, less so against uThermal. GG. With that, we're getting into game 2. We're going to be loading into Undercurrent. It's a dinosaur map. Let's go. Good evening. Good evening. Buenos dias. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Undercurrent, we have the red duo. We have Goblin alongside uThermal. uThermal, papi. Let's go. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the blue duo. We have the Zerg and the Protoss. We have GgMaChine and Shameless. Here we go. Once again, we do have Goblin and uThermal working together here to wall up and to wall up. The wall is a little bit more awkward here on Undercurrent, but they are securing themselves on 2 bases. Oh, hello. I say that this time the Rax is thrown down a little bit further back. I'm curious to see if they open up 2x Reaper once again. Do we go for another aggressive start? It was quite successful. If you recall, that's how they were able to get an early lead against Shameless. Shameless, he did bleed out a lot of probes early on to the Reapers and to the Adepts. Speaking of, yep, 2 Rax. 2 Rax to open here, 1 Rax on the high ground, 1 Rax on the low ground, and once again 2 gate openers. So the same opener 2 games in a row. It's going to be double Adept and double Reaper harass early on. This is how they were able to slow and cripple Shameless in the early game, and they could do it again. Oh boy. Could do it again here. And so far we are setting up. We do have the SCV Scout with the Probe Scout here from the red team. And so far it is going to be a standard opener out of GgMaChine. Likewise, standard opener out of Shameless as well. Oh, this is not 2 Rax Reaper, by the way. This is 3 Rax Reaper. Ay, ay, ay. So uThermal being even more committed, even more aggressive this time. So additional Reapers are on the way. I don't know if I'm too fond of the idea of doing this in 2v2 just because your opponents, they have more support. Oh, as one drone goes down, nice pick off already. He gets 1. Stalker has arrived. Reaper is zoned away, but again, uThermal was making 3 Reapers at a time. Likewise, we just see Goblin doesn't expand. Goblin goes 2 gates Adepts into a Stargate before expanding. So just hyper aggression from both uThermal and Goblin. More so than last game. Drones are going to be going down. 4 drones so far. Queen is under fire. And they might just break GgMaChine here and now. Getting to 5, 6 drones. 6 drones in the Queen. Reapers into the main. There's a Queen in position. There's a Queen to help defend. That's the last Reapers. They do push forward. Once again, getting another unit. Oh, nice, very nice force fields. Oh my god, Shameless. I mean, the Reapers, they get away regardless, but they're holding onto their main bases. Master Reaper going for another Queen. Another Queen goes down. Not bad. Base is under threat. This time Shameless is freely mining on 2 bases. This time Shameless is left alone. It's GgMaChine who's struggling instead. As Reapers, they bust into the main. What, 7 Reapers? Ay, ay, ay. As more drones going to be going down. How many? 15! 15 worker kills. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal damage. And finally, the Reapers are going to go down. Finally, going to be cleaned up back across the map. But uThermal, no natural base. This is the downside here. This is a lot of really good damage from uThermal. But how many SCVs does uThermal have? He's oversaturated 1 base. He's on 29 workers. Just now transferring. But that's 15 drones for the Zerg player. GgMaChine, he is crippled. And for the time being, GgMaChine, he is going to be out of this. Cool, toss poke forward. Toss poke forward. Both players now expanding. Look at taking a moment here to take a stock. We do see both Goblin and uThermal on a decent worker count. They are eclipsing GgMaChine. At least GgMaChine does have a third. Does have a third hatchery up and running. He saved his natural. I will say that Shameless is currently in the best economic position out of all players. But GgMaChine, he's in the worst. Meanwhile, Dark Shrine on the way. Okay, okay. Going into DTs. There is potential for damage. So now Lane starts trying to collapse here on those Reapers. They get one, they get two. And they're going to clean up all four. Keeps it going down. Interesting Zelnaga location, actually. I didn't even know there was one here. Zelnaga Tower is covered by tall grass. Okay, okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit unfamiliar with some of these 2v2 maps. Like, we never really seen like the right and the flanking areas and the flanking locations really come into play. Like, usually the games are finishing a little bit faster. We just have hyper aggression into the bases. uThermal getting his third. Goblin still getting his own third base as well. Both players expanding. Double drop into the main base of Shameless. Prism into, or DTs into the main base of uThermal. Let's go. Drop is going to be dealt with. Dark Templar, they split up. They go into all the bases. There's recall. Do we have any detection though? Ooh, no observers. No observers. You have to rely on those revelations. He gets one DT. He gets one, he gets two. But it's still another Dark Temple popping up. Now it's dealt with. Another DT now coming in. There's two more. Another one in the main. Oh, there's a scan. Oh my god. Takes down the Prism. Prism goes down. Still one more Dark Temple in the main base. And how many workers have gone down so far? 13 for Shameless, actually. That drop. That drop did get out of hand. This is some nice damage from the Dark Templar, but still not enough. Still not enough here. Checking units tab. Shameless still with the better economy. Shameless getting up to a 3 base, or getting up to 3 base saturation. Other players are getting there. GgMaChine, he is recovering from here, getting a 4th base and going into Link Bane. So straight up Link Bane out of the Zerg. Meanwhile, Shameless going just for another mass gateway composition. Stalker Zealot. Both very mobile compositions. They don't scale amazingly into a longer game. This game is slowing down. uThermal going to buy a tank. I believe Goblin likewise also just coming into a gateway composition. Gateway army. Now just vying for map control. Again, despite the intense opener, like, the game is slowing down. The game is slowing down. It's, for whatever reason, it does feel like both uThermal and Goblin, they're just calming down, building up on their bases, taking it slow. And this is giving the opportunity here for GgMaChine to not just drone up and recover, but to build up into lunkers. Okay. Lurker Tech is on the horizon. Lunker Tech is on the way. Here we go. Here comes the mass on siege. Someone moving out. Shameless still just a mass gateway composition. I mean, so is Goblin. So I'm moving in. Tanks within range. Yeah, the base is going to go down. Massive pickup. Nexus falls. At the same time, we do see a massive counterattack. They're done mining here at the third base of uThermal. Pushing up the ramp. Lurkers, they still need a little bit more time. They need a bit more time. Tanks are sieging. Stalkers blink back, and the Lurkers, it looks like they will barely finish. Aye, aye, aye. They do more Finn. They do power at the same time. We just ignore the Lurkers. Ling Bane crashing into the Stalkers. Marines, they bust into the mineral line. Yeah, this natural's gonna go down. Stalkers do crumble. But now Master Marine versus Lunker. But he doesn't need to move in. He doesn't need to push forward. Takes down the natural. And Ramiri has to get the hell out of here. He's being pinned in. Lurkers, they start to step forward. And uThermal, he will lose everything here. Ooh, losing a full medevac. Oh no! The medevacs. One medevac gets away. And Goblin didn't realize he also bled out quite a lot there. Yeah, a lot did go down, and here we go. GgMaChine is moving out. We have a Shameless to support. The Lurkers are here. And the Lunkers, they defend. And now we're going for a massive counterattack. uThermal, he lost his third. Uh-oh. Did lose his third base. uThermal down to one tank. Barely any Marines. Speaking of that one tank, there it is. So under fire. Goblin getting called out. So we're going for drop play. They're trying to buy time. And Goblin, he is rushing into Sky Toss, but I don't know if that was the time. I think earlier when there was that kind of lull period, I think that would have been the opportune moment to take up into Sky Toss from the side of Goblin. But I don't think they were aware that Lurkers were on the way. It is the problem there. But that would have been it. That would have been the time. Yeah, Shameless pushing. Prism into the main. Oh. So, very unfortunate. That's how it does shut him down. Drop here into the bases. Once again, the drop is distracting. GgMaChine, the base is getting very low. It looks like it may just go down. A nice snipe. Takes down the expansion. At the same time, Shameless moving in, takes down the tanks. Takes down both tanks. See him moving in. Goblin does get into a Sky Toss. I wasn't sure if he would have enough time, but no, yeah. 2 Tempests are out, 2 more on the way. Goblin is holding on. Storm is not done. Ooh, I think that's a bit of a mistake. Storm has not actually begun for Goblin. So these High Templar, they're kind of dead supply. So a rough misstep there from Goblin. Hopefully he notices soon. As Storm is I mean, it should be pretty impactful. Should be. Stalkers, they rotate, they go for the third base. Third base is going to go down. Massive pickup. At the same time, Lings, they are caught in the stasis. They are caught out. Lurkers are moving in. Within range of the mineral line. Nidus into the main. And does hold out. Oh, Lurkers, they're gonna get shut down there. Never mind, no detection. As ults are dealt with. Causing a bit of havoc, nothing major. The workers are going down. Likewise, uThermal stuck on 3 bases. We had GgMaChine mass expanding. Shameless as well, just taking more expansions. Maintaining their economies. GgMaChine is almost maxed out. He's almost maxed once again. Lunkers, they try to bust into the mineral lines, but this is going to be a brutal loss though. Gets a tank, takes down the probes. And he gets us to matters. Is the workers going down? A planetary as well. Shameless and GgMaChine. Just the mass counterattacks. Nidus Worms blinks in, takes down planetary, takes down a mineral line. Nicely done. Again, just a very mobile composition. I think what I'm most fascinated by is, there we go, now he notices. Now he's like, hold up, I should have had Storm. So now he realizes the Storm was never researched. At least now he knows. Goblin now does realize he never got Storm. But what I was going to say is that GgMaChine going into Lingbane, Hydraulic Viper makes plenty of sense. But for Shameless to stay on a lower gas count, to go for this Swarm Toss style, very mobile. I mean, some really key pickoffs, a very active style, I should say. It takes out the Tempest one after the other. Boys being pulled through the army. Oh no! Through the army. Somehow some of them to escape. But now we're going for the dive. Going for the mothership. Mothership goes down. Lunkers, they dive in as well. Oh my god. Yeah, there's no escaping this. GG gets called, and with that, we are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. But yeah, a really unique style out of Shameless, where he stays on a low gas count. He doesn't tech up into any robo-based composition of like Colossus or Immortals. He doesn't take into Skytoss either. He doesn't go into his own Tempest or his own carriers. He was working towards Storm at the end, which I think is a nice addition. But yeah, just really heavy Stalker count instead, and he was achieving a lot with it. He was sniping Planetary, sniping CCs, keeping up with drop play as well. GG. GG well played. I can't imagine that style would work as well against like a more mech composition from a Terran player. But yeah, it was interesting nonetheless. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how both uThermal and Goblin adjust as we're getting into the ace match, as we're loading into Emerald City. Let's go. And this morning, in the bottom right-hand corner of Emerald City, we have our red team. We have the Terran and Protoss, we have uThermal and Goblin. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have their opponents. We have the blue team in GgMaChine and Shameless. Yeah, a very active style. Very aggressive, a lot of counterattacks, a lot of run-bys. And did eventually pull uThermal, a lot of Nidus Worms as well, and eventually did pull Goblin and uThermal apart. Did pull them apart. We go. Hold on, how do I shorten this? So I just realized that I can't update the title of the stream because the name is too long. Oh no. Oh no. What if I do this? I'll do this for now. Save. There we go. Whew, okay, so now we do calm down. As a reminder, last game, or in game one, we had, as we're getting to the ace match, but in game one, we did have uThermal and Goblin go 2 Racks Reaper and 2 Gate Opener. Game 2, we saw uThermal double down and go 3 Racks Reaper. This time, we are going to go for something more economic. We slow things down. We have a Racks Expand, or I should say CC first out of uThermal. So a much more economic start from both uThermal and Goblin. We are slowing the game down here a little bit more. We're not being as aggressive, as committed, which I do appreciate. I do feel like they did a great job at punishing GgMaChine, but he did recover over the course of that game, which was impressive. Did recover, did bounce back, droning as hard as possible. And of course, Shameless supporting him as well. From here, Stargate Opener out of Shameless, Stargate Opener out of Goblin. And, oh, okay, we're mixing it up. We're going into mech. Overlord does confirm, but double factory on the way. uThermal, he is making it up. Oh. Now from here we can go into a heavy Hellion start. We can go into early Cyclone. Meanwhile, the Stargate was scouted. And as a result, we have a Phoenix Opener out of Shameless. Wait, they have not, or they did see what was going on across the map, but they haven't seen the tech of choice here from Shameless going into double Stargate Mass Phoenix. Okay. Looking to hard counter and shut down Goblin. Meanwhile, it is going to be Battle Mech. We have Hellion Cyclone on the way from uThermal. We'll see how this all comes together. Oh, yeah, as the Oracle is going to be forced to recall, Phoenixes will shut him down. We have more Phoenixes on the way. Behind this, just straight up Lings out of our Zerg player, going for an earlier lair. That was a almost 4-minute lair timing. Interesting. Now, with this fast lair, and with Shameless gaining air control and denying vision early on, are we tempted to go into Muta play? Are we tempted? Hellions, they go for the dive. They do get, how many? 5 drones so far. Not bad. They rest up 5 workers. But again, the lair is on the way. When it comes to anti-air, there are going to be some Cyclones, that is true. Likewise, Stalkers as well. Widow Mines being set up against the Phoenixes. Oh! Oh my god, brutal connections. 2 Phoenixes go down. Yeah, strong start for uThermal. They'll shut them down. Lings, they move out to deny the 3rd. And they will force a cancel. Not bad. That should not have happened. Goblin out of position. 3rd base is denied. Lair is now done, and what are we doing with that lair? We're going, okay, double Evo Chamber, no Spire. We're going into a +1 range, +1 melee. It looks like the setup for Lingbane Roach Ravager, which is the go-to against mech. Technically, this could lead into Ling Hydra, which can be quite risky. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be Hydra or Roach. You know, Phoenixes, they do bust into the bases. Oh god! Locals are brutal, getting 1, 2, 3 feet. Oh my, every single Phoenix! Oh my god! Shameless! Bleeds out all the Phoenixes. Rough loss there for the blue Protoss player. Again, that was the entire purpose of the opener. I mean, we're still going Mass Phoenix, by the way, making 3 Phoenixes at a time. But the Phoenix count was reset. As a result, Shameless has almost no army supply. Here comes the push. Here comes the punish. And the blue team, they're in trouble. Blue team, they're in danger here. There's what to defend. There's still a couple of Phoenixes, but again, like, there's plenty of anti-air with Stalkers and Cyclones. This might just be it. Yeah, from here, they deny the expansion. They take down the Nexus. That's a kill, not a cancel. And we just keep going. Yeah, they just keep going in. Pushing forward, going for the kill. We have how many Phoenixes left? 9 and 10. 10 Phoenixes remaining. Gonna be forced back. Shameless, his natural's gonna go down. Shameless down to 1 base. Lings coming for this round. Oof. That mine shot's going off with a force friendly fire though. Lifting up all the cyclones. Lings collapse on top of the stalkers. Hydra's popping out just in time. GgMaChine, can he hold? Can he survive on his own? I mean, oh my god, that's still a lot of pieces. Jesus, oh my god. And that is a clutch hold here. Again, the Phoenixes, they did pop off. They shut down most of the cyclones. They forced unfriendly fire. And with that, the blue team, they barely survive. But again, Shameless, for the most part, he's out of this in the sense that he's out of bases. He has to double. He's double expanding. Shameless does have a high Phoenix count though. He's up to how many? He's up to 13. 13 Phoenixes. So he can support. Meanwhile, GgMaChine was left alone, right? His bases, his economy is still up and running. And he's taking into Lurker tech. So it was not Lingbane Rotravager, it was Lingbane Hydra into Lurker. Lings, they force a cancel, not bad. They delay the expansion. West Stalker's poking in. But once again, the mass lift, and the Hydras, they pick off whatever's left over. These songs working really well together, actually. Where Phoenixes, they just lift up whatever they can, and the Hydras pick off whatever they lift. Let's go. It's a nice setup here between Shameless and GgMaChine. Lurker production has begun. Hive is complete. Lurker upgrades on the way. And behind this again, it is Battle Mech alongside Mass Blink Stalker. I'll say the armies that both uThermal and Goblin are going for, I mean, they're very intense. They're very intense when it comes to like their units, how expensive they are as well. I guess what I'm getting at is that this is where Phoenixes can really thrive, right? If we're relying on these high impact individual units, I mean, hey, they can just be lifted and the armies can be shut down, as opposed to like a more zealot heavy composition or a more marine heavy composition. As zealots are being incorporated. There we go, more lurkers building up. Shameless, he's stabilizing. He's not quite there yet. Shameless, Jesus, he did save all of his probes though. 71 probes. So Shameless is recovering. GgMaChine is going to be the first to max out. Here comes the main army though. Red team's moving in with mainly Cyclone Stalker. And how good are the lifts going to be? Armies do respond. And they catch out the Cyclones. Yeah, what, half the Cyclones get caught. Stalker getting picked up as well. Oh my god, Jesus, lifting up almost every single Cyclone. Yeah, uThermal, he will lose his army. Now it's mainly just a Goblin left. 3 Cyclones. And the Protoss. Thor is here, let's go. Thor moves in. At the same time, Zealot Rumbai does force a recall. As GgMaChine is on his own. Oh god, he's gonna get surrounded. Not the best trade here for GgMaChine. Takes down some of the Stalkers. Things they come in to reinforce just in time. He saves 1 Lunker. He saves 1. He can keep going. The Phoenixes have arrived. Takes down one of the Thors. There's 1 Thor left. Can he get the Thor? Oh my god, the SCVs, they pull into Lurker range. Thor goes down. And we can see GgMaChine is running out of steam a little bit here. Has to fall back. Again, the Thors are good answer to all these Phoenixes. And from here, Shameless, what are we going for? Sky Toss. Carrier production has begun. Mothership is on the way. As GgMaChine, he does overextend. Again, he needs his lurkers. You know, Mass Phoenix. Where are we headed? I mean, the Thors do complicate things. For those that are curious, Thors are massive units that cannot be lifted. Immortals can, though. Takes down some Immortals. As Goblin, he's going into triple Immortal production. It's going to be a lot of Immortals. Likewise, no Storm, so he's going Immortal Archon. uThermal claiming the gold. GgMaChine is back into his Lurker army. He's locked back in. Oof. The mine shots are brutal. Oh my god. 2-3 mines going off. Shuts down some of the Lings. As we said, Linz is a big shout to Cyan in the chat. Obrigado. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bom dia, papi. Sorry, just a little bit engrossed in the game. But thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast. Hope you had a great time. And bienvenidos. 2 thermals, 2 circuits, April edition. As we are in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, probes getting shut down. May not be moving in. Nice expansion. Sky Toss is being revealed. Not too much Sky Toss though. As the Lunkers move in. As we just see mass Thor here out of uThermal. Jesus, checking his army. It's a handful of Hellbats and 12 Thors. Almost pure Thor out of uThermal. Okay. I mean, against the Protoss army, this makes sense. Against the Lurkers, it makes a little bit less. Oh. GgMaChine rotates. So far, Goblin hits his knife. Oh, does joink in the Immortals. The Immortals are abducted. Lunkers, they pop off. They focus most of them down. Yes, they still do push in. Oof. As the carrier does overextend. Carrier overextends, but the main Skyjust army busting in. How many carriers? 8. 8 carriers here for Shameless. Likewise, Nidus into the main to reinforce. Loving the use of the Nidus. Shameless does move further in. As is done, Lurkers, they can now support. They can. Do they even need to? We just keep going in. And there we go. The Lurkers, they can just take over the rim. They can take over the production. And we've seen this before in 1v1. You take over the main, you can win the game. As that's all the production and tech going down. Thor's trying to move in. Again, that's a lot of Thors, but they're also so thick. Like, how do they engage? The SimCity working against them. These gateways going down is going to help uThermal. So we got a recall to reinforce. Recalling in more carriers. At the same time, letting Hydra reinforcements moving in. Oh, GgMaChine is left behind. Some of the Lurkers do go down, but again, he's just focusing on his main push. Oh, the lift on the Zealots. Let's go. uThermal losing all of his bases. I did not realize that he didn't expand towards the top side. uThermal losing every single base. Down to what? Down to 14 Thors, and again, they just cannot keep up. Just not mobile enough. He has to lift his buildings. So open the area up. Doors, they're so thick. Get out here. Thermal supply blocks. The ground army just collapsing here on these Thors. Carriers are coming to support. Oof. And lurkers are going down. Likewise, slow zone here on the main army. Blinding clouds as well. GG gets called, and GgMaChine and Shameless, the blue team, they bounce back and they take the series at 2-1. GG. GG, well played. They were dead, by the way. If you weren't here at the start of the game, welcome one and all. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. But at the start of the game, if you remember, both uThermal and Goblin, they went for a borderline all in. They pushed right down mid. I say all in. If you recall, what had happened was Shameless he overextended, and Shameless took some massive mines to the face. He lost like 8 Phoenixes. He got caught by the Cyclones, caught by the Stalkers. He lost the entire Phoenix army. After that occurred, we had a massive counterattack with uThermal and Goblin pushing out. They killed the third, and they killed the natural base of Shameless. Shameless, he was out of the game. He lost everything. But they were very patient, and we saw that GgMaChine was building up his own Ling Hydra composition with the help of the Phoenixes that Shameless did preserve. There was a very close hold, a very close defense at the natural base, and they barely held on, they barely survived. And from there, I was impressed that they recovered. From there, it was a 1v2. It was GgMaChine versus Goblin and uThermal. But because the Phoenixes were retained, and because I think there were like 13 Phoenixes at the time, they were able to counterattack, harass. They were able to support the main Zerg army as well. And yeah, I was impressed, very impressed there that Shameless was able to recover despite losing so much. Like, again, the game almost ended then and there. It was almost over, but continued, and they were able to snowball out of control themselves. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to GgMaChine and Shameless. And with that, they advance on to the semi-finals. Oh boy, where they have their next set of opponents. It's not going to be easy here. Spirit and Showtime. Now, this is a unique pairing. For those that are curious, at the time of this tournament, there was a wardy, I believe like the spring bash or the spring championship was going on. There was another wardy event that was actually clashing with uThermal's tournament. And because of that, there were a couple of players that weren't able to take part. One of them is Spirit's regular teammate. If you know anything about 2v2s, you would know that the best players in 2v2, the best teams, are Spirit and MaxMax. Spirit and MaxMax, they straight up, they're the best team in the world for 2v2. They win every tournament that they play in, without exception. Like, they've won every single tournament that they play in. And the second best team, which have gotten second place every time they play, is Clem and Trigger. We have Clem and Trigger as the number 2 team in the world, and we have Spirit and MaxMax as the number 1 team in the world. But specifically for this tournament, because this was clashing with Wardy's 1v1 tournament, both MaxMax and Clem weren't available. They were both competing in that tournament. I think Clem ended up winning. I think MaxMax got like 3rd place or 4th place. I think Clem ended up winning the entire thing. But they couldn't compete, right? They couldn't compete in this tournament. So because of that, Spirit reached out. He reached out to find a new teammate, and he found Showtime. So next best thing, right? Hey, if you can't have MaxMax, Showtime, right? So Showtime stepped in. It was a unique pairing just because, if you remember, last month we had Showtime and Lambo. Showtime and Lambo, they were a team, but their team was broken, and this time it was Spirit and Showtime. And this month, I believe Lambo played with Hearthstone. So we had the streamer team with Lambo and Hearthstone. I think they got knocked out in the quarterfinals, or yeah, I think in the quarterfinals. But we have like the new maybe favorite team with Spirit and Showtime. I don't know how well they'll work together. I don't know how Showtime approaches this kind of matchup and this kind of and 2v2, how he does it differently to MaxMax. We'll see. Likewise, again, Clem, because it was unavailable, it meant that Trigger didn't play. But Clem and Trigger, they're usually the number 2 team. But they won't be a part of this. So we're gonna have a new pairing here in the semis and even coming into the finals as well, just because the regular top teams are not here, right? MaxMax isn't here, Trigger isn't here, Clem isn't here. So we're getting ready for the semifinals. Up first is going to be Spirit Showtime versus Shameless GgMaChine. Up next is going to be Skillers and Alazer. Skiller, if you will, or Elias. added. But we have Skills and the Laser, the Team Liquid team, up against Milky Cow and Wayne up next as well. Those are going to be the top 4 teams. Those are going to be the 2 semifinals. We are going to be going on a short break to get ready for said semis, because it is going to be semifinals and then grand finals thereafter. So we are going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our semis. See you soon. See you soon. Happy. See you soon.